Hi everyone, my name is Dimitri and welcome back to DimitriTube. Today I'm bringing you the Love is Blind episode 6 review? Yeah, we're on episode 6, right? Today I'm bringing you Love is Blind episode 6 review. Now, if you're new to my channel or you've been here before, you know I am a baby YouTuber and I'm really trying to grow. So make sure you pound that like button, pound that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. We are now on episode 6 and this is so awesome because we've made it past the halfway point. Please do not post any spoilers in the comments. I'm watching the show along with you guys and this is not a spoiler YouTube channel. Now, when we last left off, all the couples were still in Mexico ending their paradise vacation, and now I think they're about to go back to the real world. This is definitely the episode I have been waiting for. I think this is where the majority of the drama will start, because it's one thing to take off work and meet one another for a show and then take a vacation together, but it's another thing to try to combine your lives together. That's like a whole different ballpark. I think this is where we're gonna see most of the conflict between the couples. And to everyone out there, my apologies for the huge delay in videos 3 and 4. Currently, I'm social distancing like everyone else and pretty much stuck to the house, but I am blessed and lucky enough to still be working. So I'm editing these videos in between my day job, but I will keep chugging along with these reviews and pushing through like the little train that could. Okay, so now let's watch and get started.
They're not really embracing what they're feeling because it scares them. So I don't really...
To open up the episode, all the couples are meeting up for a farewell brunch. It's their last day in vacation in Mexico. Did y'all just catch what Amber said? That is literally the most honest statement said about this show. Amber says, I do think some of the couples, they're more in their heads instead of their hearts. They're not really embracing what they're feeling because it scares them. So I don't really know if everybody is honestly going to make it to that I do. But I know Barnett and I will. I love that Amber is so committed to this process and she's literally taking a leap of faith. Like, she is 100% following her heart, and I feel like that is the attitude you need to have for this show. So Nick and Vanessa Lachey stop by the brunch and explain the next rules of the experiment.
Each of you will move into a new home, a neutral space for you guys to deepen your relationship.
Netflix is providing all of them with homes so they can build a deeper connection. All of the couples will be in the same complex. Now, Vanessa says they're gonna go back home to their family and friends, and they're gonna be able to go back to their devices and social media to see if their realities can work. Now, what I wanna know is there limits on what they can post on social media? Because if they go home and get on social media and post, hey, this is my fiance getting married in 21 days, and it doesn't actually happen, like, that's kind of a spoiler for the Netflix audience. I'm pretty sure they'll have limits on what they can put on social media, because I'm sure Netflix doesn't want them to spoil the show. Now, Lauren seemed pretty annoyed that they were all gonna be living in the same apartment complex. I'd be kind of worried too, because honestly, there's a good chance that a lot of these couples are gonna be fighting. And two, they've all dated one another, so it's kind of like living near your ex. And all of their relationships are still very new, so I'd be a little worried as well. I know a lot of y'all swear that Netflix has a ton of money, which they do, but Netflix is not gonna spend a lot on the first season of a reality show, hence why they're putting them all in the same complex. The biggest thing is just, it's easier to film that way. They can put one film crew all in one place versus having to go to separate different houses. Now we're seeing all the couples pack their bags, getting ready to leave, and they're discussing their feelings heading back into the real world.
Different when there's no other distractions. Social media and phones and all that stuff, you know, it's just different. So
Kelly mentions that she's worried about the influence of social media and having their devices back, like being able to swipe and see so many images of other girls or other guys. And they're about to get married in 21 days. Honestly, being on a phone would probably be the least of my worries. I'm shocked that's like the number one thing she's worried about, but it may have just been how Netflix edited it. And Giannina says she's not worried about going to the real world, she's more curious. I agree, like that's how I would be if I was about to marry someone in 21 days. I'd be like, how they living? So Jessica lands in Atlanta and she gets on the phone with her mom.
normal life, I got my phone back and the first person I call is my mom.
And her mom asks, so you've met the man of your dreams? And Jessica responds, yes, he's right here, his name is Mark. And I'm like, girl, why are you lying? If he was the man of your dreams, you'd probably be wearing that ring. The first couple we're seeing move in together is Cameron and Lauren.
What are your other pet peeves?
I'm a clean person, so I don't like clutter
And I feel like if you use a dish, like just wash it.
Now, like how I just mentioned, y'all swear Netflix has all this money, but they put them in a 1-bedroom like this. This 1-bedroom is nice, but it is very small. It's a cute apartment and a lot of it is updated, but it's a very small space for 2 people, especially for Atlanta. Now, if they were living in Washington, D.C., that would make a little more sense to me. A 1-bedroom like this would cost roughly $2,400 a month, but in Atlanta, I know it does not cost that much. And especially, they only need to be there for like 21 days. Also, I'm a realtor, by the way. So Lauren and Cameron are having dinner, and from the jump, she sets it off. One of her pet peeves is that she doesn't like to hear someone chewing. I think that's kind of dumb and a little petty. Like, honestly, just play some music while you eat. But she does say that she does not like sharing a toothbrush with someone. I 100% agree. That is so fucking gross. Like, I don't know what it is, but it just like, it grosses me out to share a toothbrush with someone. And then a toothbrush is like $1. Like, I'll splurge the $2 so we can have separate toothbrushes. Would you be okay with sharing a toothbrush with your significant other? Please let me know in the comments below. Now, I think it's smart for Lauren to bring this up from the beginning because she's being open and honest and just letting him know from the start, especially if you're gonna spend the rest of your lives together. As they progress, I'm sure there's gonna be more pet peeves that she notices, but I think this is definitely a good start for beginning to live together. Next, we're seeing Barnett and Amber right now. They both got Chinese takeout.
Nervous to tell my family.
What?
Honestly, I am about to cry right now because since this social distancing thing started, like all of the good Chinese takeouts in Washington, D.C. have closed and I still have yet to find another replacement good one that I like. I love Chinese. Like, it really makes me so sad that I really can't get the Chinese that I like. Now we're seeing Kenny eat dinner by himself.
What's going on?
Hi, babe.
Hey.
So Kelly had to go on a work conference, so she left for San Diego for 2 days. I feel so bad because, again, this is supposed to be their first night moving together, but I get it. She has to work. This FaceTime call is so cute because they've only been apart for like, what, a half a day? And they're already calling to say they miss one another. That's just so adorable. Both Cameron and Jessica have both said something about the apartment is small, and I agree. Like, this is Atlanta. You could definitely get more space. I do not understand why Netflix put them in such a small space. Maybe for the drama, I don't know.
I noticed you got your ring back on.
I did.
Y'all, we have had a major breakthrough. Jessica has decided to put her ring back on. She doesn't really explain why. I wish she had made that decision back in Mexico, but whatever. The first couple we're seeing is Lauren and Cameron. They're stopping by Lauren's place to pick up her things.
So this is mi casa. Let me give you the cribs tour.
Please.
Lauren's apartment is really cute. It's very her and super girly. The only thing I don't get is they came through the back door of the apartment versus the front door. Like, you can clearly see that's like the back screen door. I don't know why they did that. Lauren is so me right now. She's a little bit shy, embarrassed to show Cameron her apartment because it's kind of small. For the most part, she's clean, but her closet's a little messy. Honestly, girl, you have nothing to be worried about. I don't know how Atlanta is, but in Washington, D.C., it's perfectly acceptable to live in a small place. Again, everyone knows how high these prices are. I live in a 650 square foot apartment with a roommate. Like, it is real out here in these streets. Now we're seeing Jessica and Mark. They're going first to Mark's apartment. Off the bat, right now, Jessica is driving an Audi, so I'm guessing she has a little bit of money.
Oh my god, brown on brown on brown on brown. I've never seen this many shades of brown, actually. Oh, now brown cow. God.
It is so funny how Netflix filmed this. First, they showed Lauren and Cameron. Lauren says that when she showed Cameron her messy closet, he was really chill and understanding of the fact that her closet was a little messy. Now we're going to Jessica and Mark. Jessica is dragging Mark right now about his bed sheets, and they've only gotten to the first room of the house. Jessica is completely shook right now. Mark is very much living like a 24-year-old. He has a mattress and a box spring that are on the floor, no bed frame. He has a beanbag chair. He has a cheap sectional you would find from IKEA. He lives with his friend and his girlfriend, and this is honestly very much how the average 24-year-old lives, and Jessica is totally making fun of him for it right now, but come on, he's 24. Like, what do you expect?
Mom folded some laundry for you. Aww. It's in your room. She did your laundry while you were gone.
Oh my god, what an awesome roommate. She did his laundry for him. I would never do my roommate's laundry. Like, I hate doing my own laundry. Right now, Mark's roommate is not selling him at all. His roommate is like, by the way, he doesn't like doing dishes, he doesn't like doing laundry. Also, I gotta know, what made you pick him? Like, Mark's roommate is almost putting him in a bad light. Like, I see he's being honest, but he's definitely putting him in a bad light right now. Now we're seeing Lauren and Cameron, and they're going to Cameron's house.
It's very nice though, very southern.
When I bought this,
Off the bat, Cameron's house is nice as hell. I am shocked. He lives in a huge 3-bedroom house by himself, which in my head, like, that's kind of wild to live in that big of a house by yourself. Shortly after they walk in there, Lauren says, show me around, this is your place. And Cameron replies, well, this could be our place. And that is just so cute. Cameron is committed to this process. He's really envisioning himself living with Lauren. Not only is what he said so cute, but I just love how committed he is. What I love about this is that Cameron is very serious and he wants to be married. Like, he's ready to settle down. I love that because on reality TV, it tends to be more women who have that mindset. You do see some men, again, who are ready to be married and ready to settle down, but I feel like it's a little more rare to see that. Also, Netflix did them dirty. It sucks that they have to go live in that tiny 1-bedroom apartment when Cameron has this huge 3-bedroom house that they could be living in. Cameron asks Lauren what she thinks about her moving in with him. Lauren responds and says, what do you think about me keeping my own place? Now, I'm not mad at Lauren for suggesting this. I actually think it's smart just from a safety perspective, mainly because they've only known each other for like a couple weeks. And I just think it's like more of like a safety thing. Again, you kind of don't really know this person. And again, it's nice to have a place you can go back to if it does not work out. Also, Lauren is so me. Like, Lauren's scared of giving up her own personal space. Like, that's me. Moving in with someone and completely giving up your personal space, like, that's a huge step. And I know a lot of y'all are like, Dimitri, what personal space? You have a roommate. Living with a roommate and living with your fiance are two different things. Next, we're seeing Barnett and Amber, and they are pulling up to Barnett's house.
I don't like it. What? You mean it's alright?
it gets the job done. My house is a mess.
Barnett is terrified about what Amber is gonna think of his house. He says that his carpets are dirty, his house is messy, and the dogs pee on the carpet sometimes. And in my head, I'm just like, dude, what are you doing? Like, when he signed up to be on the show with Netflix, I'm pretty sure they mentioned marriage, and in my head, it would just make sense that they're possibly gonna show their houses, or I'm pretty sure that would have been in the contract he signed. I know you wanna be yourself, but like, dude, you should have had the carpets cleaned before you left. Like, what were you doing? Barnett's house is very nice. He was a little concerned at first about having a small place, but I'm viewing this from Washington, D.C. standards, and very much his place is huge. Also, Barnett's place is not nearly as dirty as he made it up to be. Barnett mentions to Amber that his house is really small, and then from there, they start talking about finances. I think this is so smart, and I'm glad they're putting this out there from the jump, because I think 50% of divorces are started because of finances, so I'm glad that they're being open and honest from the jump. Now, Amber mentions that she was homeless for a while, she was couch surfing with friends, she has student loan debt, and she very much works to live and didn't think about her future. So she says she wants to be a stay-at-home mom, but it has me wondering, like, what does she do for work now? Like, she has not said that, and also I'm kind of surprised that they did not talk about this in the pods before. It's possible that Amber and Barnett did talk about work in the pods, but Netflix just didn't air it. Now we're seeing Jessica and Mark, and they're checking out Jessica's place. Jessica lives in an older home, but it's very cute, it's well taken care of, and the way she decorated it, it's definitely very her.
And I'm being very careful.
Don't want to say anything.
And I'm being very
but
careful
like,
when I say that, and I'm, again,
Jessica asks Mark about kids. Jessica is 34 and she's very much saying that time is against her, so she is looking in the future to having kids and having kids soon. I'm just very annoyed that she said this, because when she was in the pod with Barnett and Barnett asked about kids, she said she is 100% not on a timeline. What happened? For Barnett, you were not on a timeline, but now for Mark, you are. Mark answers and says he wants kids, he's ready to have kids, he's lived his life and already had a ton of experiences, he's ready to raise kids. Jessica, when she hears this, is a little apprehensive about it. She says that, yeah, a lot of guys say they want to have kids, but then when they actually do have kids, they realize they're in fact not ready. Now, I agree with Jessica on being apprehensive towards Mark's answer, because again, a lot of people do go into having kids that aren't ready, and it isn't until they have the kids that they realize, damn, I was not ready for this. So it's completely understandable for Jessica to be apprehensive. Jessica continues to throw the age gap at Mark, and she's really concerned about their age gap. I think the reason is because Jessica's parents had her at a young age, so it's kind of hard for her to envision herself having kids at an older age. I don't think it's that big of a deal. My mom had me, I think, when she was 34, so I don't see it as a big deal, but for her, I think it's a big deal.
Mark is very emotionally available. To me, it's a bit of a red flag because no guy is that emotionally available.
Ugh. So Jessica says she's never dated someone who's that emotionally available, and then she says it's a red flag. And I'm like, ugh, Jessica, like, you've only dated toxic men. Like, that's why you've never met someone this emotionally available. This just shows again that Jessica does not trust in this process, and she cannot be in the moment with Mark. Now, Jessica and Mark are talking about finances. Again, I think this is very important in a relationship, and especially if you're getting married in 21 days. I love how Mark is so honest about it. He says it up front. I'm not going to be the provider in the relationship coming from the start. When it comes to Jessica and Mark, I think if Jessica opens up and gives the relationship a chance, I do think they both could learn a lot from each other. Also, Mark is a personal trainer. If Jessica likes a bigger guy and is more attracted to a bigger guy, she should just tell him to bulk up and gain 50 pounds of muscle, because Mark is the type of guy who would probably do it for you.
Same thing mentally, I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? Is that like, I'm not saying is that like, I want you to be a parent. Just, you know what I mean? Like,
oh my God, did y'all just see that? Jessica definitely fed her dog some wine. Also, I would not share wine with my dog out of the glass. I think that's gross. Now Jessica and Mark are getting into a disagreement. I don't want to call it a fight, but it's just a disagreement. It only seems like a fight because of the background music Netflix is using. Apparently Mark keeps talking about his mom, and Jessica says she does not want to be like his mom. I think Jessica's a little drunk and she's spiraling right now. Like, I think they just need to change topics. Also, Jessica says that she wants to have a prenup. I don't think that's ridiculous. Again, I don't know what her net worth is, but she hasn't even known this guy 1 month yet. So if she wants a prenup, I don't think that's ridiculous to ask for. Now we're seeing all the couples meet up together again. Amber is throwing a small surprise gathering for Barnett for his birthday. I love that Amber is doing this for him. It's such a sweet gesture. In true Netflix and reality TV style, they gotta throw some liquor on the situation. Jessica says that Mark is too emotionally available. I don't see Mark as being emotionally available, but I do see him as a yes man. And by yes man, I just mean like, he'll pretty much go along with whatever Jessica says. Like, he'll say yes to it, he's willing to change. Like, if Jessica wants this, he'll make it happen. Like, I just think that's what his personality is. I don't consider it being emotionally available. This is the same type of relationship you see between Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. Pretty much whatever Kanye wants, for the most part, Kim goes with it. Like, if Kanye wants this, Kim is very much like, yes, Kanye, we'll figure out a way. I don't see it as a bad thing, but that's just their personalities. Like, they're more concerned with just making their significant other happy. Making their significant other happy makes them happy.
Shit. I was coming down off of us. There were 48 hours in the day. I thought about you for like 46 of those hours. Like, it was insane.
Lord. Yet again, Jessica is spiraling. They gave her alcohol, and now she's back to talking about Barnett again and how she had such a deep connection with him, and it's not like the one with Mark. So now she goes and talks to Barnett, and this is just such a bad idea. Her feelings with Barnett are still raw, and I don't think she's quite over him yet. Even Lauren mentioned this when she was talking to Jessica. But on a brighter note, I really like Jessica's outfit right here. It's really cute, and she's showing off them legs.
Like, I want to make sure that y'all are there.
I know it may seem like we're like all...
Y'all, Jessica is spiraling, and Barnett keeps playing devil's advocate. After admitting to Barnett that Mark is probably not the best one for her, she goes back to Mark and is all over him and is hugging him and kissing him. And I just feel bad for Mark. Like, Mark is such a great guy and does not deserve this.
Look at me, go ahead.
I mean, yeah, we've had some difficulties, just like...
Damien and Giannina are talking to Lauren and Cameron. Damien asks Lauren how the adjustment is going with moving in together. Lauren says it's an adjustment for her living alone. And Damien says alone and finishes her sentence and says, I can see that. Lauren took this as Damien saying, oh, I could see you being alone. You're a bitter hag or something. And Damien says that's not how he meant it. Now, I don't think Damien meant it the way that Lauren is perceiving it. From Damien, I very much get the vibe that he's not as much of a people person as some of the other people. And I do think Lauren took it a little more harsh than it was actually meant to be. And Giannina and Lauren's reaction definitely made it even more awkward. I do think Cameron should have stepped in and diffused the situation a little, but of course he didn't. And now this leads into a small argument between Giannina and Damien. Giannina says it can be very hard for her to read Damien at times. And again, this just goes back to Damien being a people person. He just seems like the type of person where it is a little harder for him to read a situation. Now this leads to Giannina and Damien getting into their first big fight.
Right? So what I said was, that's not what she felt.
How do you know what she felt? You're not Lauren.
Giannina says that Damien does not listen to her, and then she keeps calling him a motherfucker, and then Damien says he does listen. I very much think this escalated into something it didn't need to be. Giannina says this is what was missing, social situations. And I agree. Giannina and Damien are now being put in social situations, and they're adjusting. Giannina says she doesn't like to be in awkward situations, but in my head, I'm thinking, like, you two are a couple now. Like, you will experience awkward situations, and you gotta get through them. Damien says this is an example of her self-sabotaging, and this is what she's done in previous relationships. I also somewhat agree with Damien because I do think this escalated into something it didn't really need to be, and because something gets awkward, I don't think her walking away was the best choice at the moment.
You don't say somebody's a close second.
No, that's not what I meant.
Aw, Jessica brought her dog to the apartment. But 2 people and a 60-pound dog in a full bed, like, I think that's a little too much. Now we're back to Jessica and Mark, and they're snuggling in the bed, and they get into a slight argument, and Jessica says that Giannina is such a great girl. She's so awesome. She's like a little sister. And then she comes a close second to you. Jessica says, how could you say that about Giannina? That was so rude, blah, blah, blah. Very much Jessica goes from 0 to 180. Jessica says, well, I think Barnett is very sexy and hot, and Mark says that is so disrespectful. How can you say that to me? And then he decides to sleep on the couch. I'm very much on team Mark for this one. That was very disrespectful, and Jessica clearly said that just to spite Mark. And that is the end of the episode. Thank you all so much for joining me on this review of episode 6, Love is Blind. I had a lot of fun with you all today, and I look forward to the next one. If you haven't already, please make sure to pound that like button, pound that subscribe button, and ring that notification bell so you can get alerted for my next review. This is DimitriTube, and I'll see you all next time. Have a good one.